Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Well, hello, my gorgeous, good looking friends. I'm back today and I have a little bit of information that came from Radar Online. For those that don't know, Radar Online is similar to like a TMZ. They're one of the more reputable gossip sites that does have their finger on the pulse in Hollywood. The tide appears to be turning, and it's not looking so good for Prince Harry. It says, panicked Prince Harry's dream move to America with wife Meghan Markle has become a real nightmare. Yeah, no shit. Because he went from being the toast of England to the bottom of the Hollywood social circuit, RadarOnline.com has learned. Harry was so excited to move to California and assumed he'd be dining at the top table with all the big players, an insider spilled. In London, he only needed to click his fingers and people would line up to invite him to their upscale bashes. But that's just not happening for him and Meghan, and that's a real kick in the teeth. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex ditched palace duties in 2020. Yeah, I think we know that. To chase fame and fortune in Meghan's old Tinseltown haunts. But sources dished as they struggle with their toxic fallout from their split with 38-year-old Harry's blue blood kin. They've been snubbed by showbiz elite and have seen themselves sink to C-list territory. Well, I don't even think they make the alphabet anymore. Just my opinion. It's hitting home hard that the old school types aren't willing to let them into their circles. So hangouts with the likes of Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks aren't in the cards in the same way they've been blanked by Beyonce and A-listers like Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston, and Brad Pitt. Harry and Meghan really need to thank Oprah for this fall from grace because had they not have done that Oprah interview, guarantee things would be a lot different. But celebrities and politicians don't want to be near them because they know that they're willing to throw their own family under the bus. So if Meghan thinks that rebranding herself as some activist and political champion is going to help win points, it's not going to change a thing because she's been exposed. And this is going to come back up and haunt her, not to mention all the shitty things that she has done to not only her family, but also the royal family, who has more power than she does. Believe it. She's going to go over to New York on December 6th and try and do her best to slither her way in with the Democratic Party, but it's not going to change the fact that she's been exposed. And while they may be to her face smiling, they're definitely not going to trust her. And Harry's going to find himself in more hot water because association with that particular group of people is going to rub a lot of Americans in the wrong way because you have a prince of the realm who is being perceived as interfering with American politics. It's only going to get worse. Sources whisper former The Suits starlet 41 is desperate to pump up their standing by interviewing celebs on her podcasts, Artswipes. But she was recently reduced to hosting hotel heiress Paris Hilton. That backfired big time when she triggered haters by complaining about being treated as a sex object during her stint as a briefcase model on the game show Deal or No Deal, but admitted lumping Hilton into the same category. The reason why is because she's so jealous. Meghan apologized but caught fire anyway from stars including Whoopi Goldberg, who insisted Harry's wife didn't recognize the game show was just another acting gig, not a reflection of her personal worth. She's still cheap, anyway. But now there's another firestorm brewing. Spies say the pair, who are attempting to tone down their upcoming Netflix docuseries, reality show, about royal life to minimize the bad blood with Britain's ruling family, have also been spending less time with Santa Barbara neighbors Orlando Bloom, Katy Perry, David Foster, and Catherine McPhee. As Harry and Meghan scurry to shore up their connection, sources say they're eyeing other options and are slated to attend a December 6th charity gala with Outcast actor Alec Baldwin. Well, first off, this is the Ripple of Hope Award, and we all know that they had paid for that award. And second, Meghan's going with bells on because she is going to be networking with the Democratic elite, and she won't miss that. Do you guys not see how this woman moves or slithers her way into trying to get into certain circles? And Harry is responsible because he's enabling it with his money. This next part in the article is hilarious. It says, Harry hates how they've gone from hobnobbing with the Obamas and the Clooneys to planning powwows with Baldwin and Hilton. And while he means no offense to these celebrities, it's just all getting a little desperate. The big A-listers are seeing the Sussexes as reality TV type fodder now, and it's got Harry rattled and red-faced. He wants Meghan to think big, but of course, it's her way or the highway, so communication is awkward. Harry learned the harsh truth. He made his bed, and now he has to lie in it. Hats off to RadarOnline.com for this beautiful piece of journalism. Thank you for bringing this to the mainstream media and letting people see that these folks are the laughingstock of the town. We know exactly what Meghan is trying to do now with her brand, and that is slither her way into politics. And because they're coming to New York on December 6th to receive an award that they purchased for humanitarianism, they have been making a lot of changes on their Archwell, aka the TIG 2.0, of all their humanitarian efforts. The most recent PR stunt that they have put out there is pretending to care about Veterans Day. And if you look at this photo, I don't know who they think that they're fooling, but clearly it is a photo of them from the Invictus Games. Have they done anything to help anyone? No. All these stupid PR puff pieces about how Archwell has donated to this and that. They're public charity. Yes, I'm calling it a public charity because that's what it is, not an actual real foundation. Has never once disclosed or been transparent with the public, in which they are supposed to be. And that's where the IRS needs to go in and do a full-on audit and investigation on the fraud that's going on. And all these puff pieces that are being pushed out about the donations and partnerships that Archwell, you guys realize that this has just now started to ramp up in the month of October in order to have something to show, because they are coming to New York to receive an award for humanitarianism. But nobody knows exactly what they're donating, whether it be more boxes of rotten vegetables or if they're giving $1 to these organizations, because they have not been transparent. This is all a sham cultivated by Meghan Markle. She is doing this to reinvent herself in order to be seen as a serious contender in the political sphere. As long as Meghan Markle has money, she's going to do whatever she can to weasel her way in with these high political power heads. This washed out Hollywood parasite is going to do her best to latch on to her next victim. Right now, she is sucking Harry dry of every cent that he's got in order to elevate herself to where she doesn't need him anymore. And this is what we're seeing at this moment. The problem with this is that Harry is an enabler, allowing this woman to move into circles that she has no business being in because of her toxicity to society. Hats off to Jordan Peterson for articulating exactly what this woman is.
Her voice drips with the same falsehood that the voice of Kamala Harris drips with. It's this sanctimonious, faux compassionate, talking down to her audience and trying to be sure that we're all really on the same compassionate page here, and we're all being victimized by terrible forces that are arrayed against us, and none of that's really fair. And it just grates on me, and I do believe that it is the case that it's very difficult to control female antisocial behavior, often of the type that's being pilloried as hysterical. And I think that there is no shortage of clinical evidence to support precisely that claim. It's very difficult for women to control female antisocial behavior, and females who are antisocial. That feminine pattern is reputation savaging under the guise of compassionate care. And it's extraordinarily destructive.
Her obsession and behavior is like next level lunatic. And to be orchestrating this facade of being this thing that she's not is laughable. But I'd like to stop right there and take a moment to remember those who have served in fighting for our democracy and freedom. So thank you. I would like to end this video with paying tribute to an unsung quiet hero who has given itself unselfishly to a life of service on behalf of the US and Great Britain. Thank you, Mr. Candle, for being a pillar of strength in these difficult times.
And tell me now, how do I live without you? I want to know, how do I breathe without you? If you ever go, how do I ever survive? How do I, oh, how do I live? Such a fraud.